To you everything from the top hits of music.
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
Hey, it's only, come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon.
To Sports Talk Radio.
With the first pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Jared Goff, quarterback from California.
We are here for you, WRPR Rat Pack Radio. Come join the pack.
You're listening to WRPR Rat Pack Radio. Come join the pack. You're listening to Rat Pack Sports Show on WRPR Rat Pack Radio.
Blue, you're my boy! A genius. A man who has a reputation to be the best at what he does.
You see, a man has to realize his limitations. You don't know me, and you don't know what I'm capable of.
That was a heck of an effort.
This house is a prison, and the galaxy of this sucks.
You're free enough.
Battle is over. When I say it is over, I will massacre you.
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Are you not entertained?
I'd say in a given week, I probably only do about 15 minutes of real, actual work.
That's how I roll. Offensive!
Hello? You play to win the game.
There's a drive! Way back! It might be! It could be! Yeah!
This is my favorite part coming up right now.
Watch your tongue or have it cut from your head.
All right. Rat Pack Sports Show. We are back. We are live. Rat Pack Radio, WRPR. Streaming online, ratpacksports.com, and also the Rat Pack Radio WRPR app. We are live in the building another week. Bring you the best there is in sports talk and entertainment. Live, ratpacksports.com. You can find us on YouTube, Rat Pack Sports, Twitter at Rat Pack Sports with a Z, Facebook, Rat Pack Sports Show, that's the group, and the like page. You can also find us on Spotify, all of our podcasts over the last almost 9 years. Go back into the archives. ratpacksportshow.podbean.com, and we are here, man. It is Wednesday night, and normally, NFL off season, things will be a little bit slow. Things will be, not much to talk about as we come up on training camp. I mean, not training camp, but free agency and then the NFL draft. But we do have baseball. Spring training has started back up. We're in the midst of the NHL season as well. And we have our two spring football leagues, XFL, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. Not any games in particular, but just, what it means to football fans to still have football to watch. So we'll get into that as well. We're going to talk some NBA. We're going to have, William Graves on with us as well. And let me see here. Let me see. Let me make sure William is awake first. William. me see here. Let me. Yep, and we'll talk some NBA. Like I said, we're gonna talk about some Ben Simmons, and we'll talk a little bit about the trade scenarios in the league. And we'll get this thing going. So hopefully we're gonna have William Graves joining us. Nicholas Lane may call in here to talk some NBA. There's a lot happening there. Kevin Durant looking like, I think tonight is actually his first game with the Phoenix Suns. So that'll be interesting to see, how that goes down and how that works. Obviously, it's Kevin Durant. He'll fit in. He'll make it whatever adjustments he need. You got Chris Paul, veteran guy, Booker as well. So, those three guys will figure it out. But me and Nicholas Lane last week, we did speak about this trade, and we did mention that there could be a good chance that there was a lot more given up in this trade from a defensive standpoint than people want to believe. And time would only tell. We know they're going to be explosive. We know they're going to be able to score a lot of points. So that's not really that's not really anything that's, going to be major. But we will see. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to get this thing started. And, again, it is Wednesday night, so there is, some AEW wrestling as well going on the tools. I currently have it on, college basketball because that's what I'm checking out here. It's some college, and, I got really good hearing. My ears are like, I can hear the slightest of sounds. So there's just this humming sound I keep hearing. So if I get a little bit quiet, it's not a big deal. I'm just trying to figure out where this sound coming from so I can eliminate it. I think it's something on top of I can hear it pretty clear now, but I don't know where it's coming from. But I can hear it as clear as day. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the other end. You maybe can. Not sure, but I'm just gonna have to, roll with it until I figure out how to get rid of this sound, man, because that is aggravating. I don't know if it's coming through the headphones. I don't know. See, now I don't hear it, so it is coming through the headphones. So it's probably some type of interference. So I can hear it now. But it's more prevalent when I put these headphones on, so yeah. I just have to All right, so yeah, we'll have William Graves. Yes, Nicky Buckets will be on with us, so it'll be good to get him on, talk some NBA, get his opinion on the article he posted here about Ben Simmons, and his situation, because we've been talking about Ben Simmons for quite some time here on the show, dating way back to his earlier days on the Philadelphia 76ers and his shortcomings of being an offensive player and not just, not getting the job done. And sometimes, it's just one of them situations where you can't really, look at this, and he just hadn't been able to find his footing, so to speak, in the league, and I think it's gonna come down to a point here where he's not going to have any value. And I don't think a whole lot of teams are going to want to deal with him because it's just, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to say not reliable. Maybe... he misses he misses a lot of time with these injuries that you just don't know if they're legit injuries or not. He's been out for a while now with the Brooklyn Nets, and you just don't know with him. He's kind of up in the air. And now, since the trade and stuff been made, now the center of attention goes back to Ben Simmons. Before it was on KD, it was on Kyrie. Now it's back on, Ben Simmons. He's the next, face of the league. Not the league, but the Nets. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be the guy to pick on now, so to speak. And I don't think Ben Simmons is built for the pressure. He wasn't built for it in Philadelphia. Brooklyn, New York, that whole region, it's a lot more pressure. And, they're going to be looking at him to step up. So if he can't step up, I see another situation here where dude's going to fall on his face again. So I'm sure my man Nicholas Lane is gonna dive deep into that because that was something he put on the app, and I know that's something he's gonna touch on. But before he get on, I'll just jump around a little bit. Tampa Bay Rays starting pitcher Tyler Glasnow. I don't know how many people, follow the Rays or baseball, but, it's coming to that time of the season. We do talk baseball here as well. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Had an oblique injury. Missed last season, the majority of last season due to Tommy John surgery. Came back, was able to pitch in the wild card series, for the Rays. And then he also, took the whole summer. He comes back and he's getting injured again. Sometimes, and this is just my feeling, this is not a baseball thing. This is not a, single-handedly sport point of view. These athletes, oblique, that's a muscle injury. So it's basically a tearing your oblique muscles. And they said grade 2. What is a grade 3? Complete tear? I mean, a tear is a tear when it comes to a muscle. Now, you can say grade 2, grade 1, grade 3 tear, and then ligament. And a grade 3 is basically a complete tear. So he's going to be out for a little bit. Again, 6 to 8 weeks. So while he is trying to get his way back onto the field, the Rays are going to have to figure it out at the beginning of the season. They will, because that's what the Rays do. They always do figure it out. People count them out. We weren't supposed to be in it last season. We lost too much firepower in the offseason. We weren't supposed to be good. We still managed to get into the playoffs. So, for me, it's just I'm a Rays fan through and through. This is what, this is just the way it is for us now. So, I am not looking, at it as anything serious or of a concern, because this organization builds their team to be able to handle these type of situations. So we're going to bring them on in, and then we're going to get, William Graves going here. We're going to get him started. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to got him on the line with us now, Rat Pack Sports Show, Mr. William Graves. What's going on, brother?
How are you doing, Debo?
I'm doing good. Now, William Graves, he's a funny dude. If you guys don't know, he does have a TikTok. So, if you want to follow this man on TikTok, you want to follow this man on TikTok and watch some of his videos, you'll come away scratching your head just like I did today when I saw a couple of videos. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, he looked like he was watching something on the video, but he was also trying to make eye contact with the camera to let us know he he was also looking into the camera. I don't know, man. I think until my man William Gray started getting on TikTok and doing the most recent viral dances, that's what I want to see. I want to see if my man William Gray's got some dance moves. If he can break out the John Travolta Grease, or something, man. I mean, we gotta change. We gotta get you to change it up a little bit, brother. Hey, what was it like? I know they got this new filter. I've been seeing everybody use this new filter, where it makes them look like a teenager again or something like that.
Yeah. My one of my friends actually sent it to me, and he goes, "Hey," "try this out." And I was just screwing around, messing with it and everything, and all that. And I was like, you know what, man, I haven't posted anything in a while, so here, let me go ahead and post this and all that. Listeners, I do indeed have a TikTok, but let me make one thing clear before you guys go on there. I am not this professional social media influencer or anything like that. I'm up there acting like a damn fool. All right. I do not take it seriously. I really don't. So if you guys are up on there looking for this professional social media influencer, dancer, and all that, you all are going to be sorely disappointed. I mean, you're going to get a good laugh, but you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Well, the good laugh is a start, though. I mean,
hey, look, if you're looking for a good laugh, just go watch me dance, and you will get all the laugh that you need. And yes, I can laugh at myself. I don't have a problem with it. Never have, never will.
Hey, I'm just giving my man a hard time. What's been going on, man? I know last week we didn't really get into much. We talked a lot of NBA last week. Nicholas Lane came on, and we talked some NBA. So what is going on? I know you got some stuff on your mind. It's been a while.
Nothing really too eye-opening or shattering. Lots of things that NBA wise or whatever that I've seen. Honestly, to me, it's just kind of business as usual. I guess the one thing that I'm really looking to see is NBA wise is Kevin Durant in his debut with the Suns. For some reason, I want to see that, and I'm not really sure why, but that's one thing that I've been kind of keeping my eye on is his rehabilitation and everything. As you know, in other news, LeBron, he hurt himself again. He's going to be out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And
it's the same foot. It's the same foot that caused him to miss a few games after he played through it to set the record for most points. And as soon as he set the record, he missed like the next 3 or 4 games after that. And then he played in the All-Star game. Now, this is the thing that I didn't really understand, because if I'm a GM of a team or whatnot, coach, GM, owner, and my best player is nursing a foot injury that caused him to miss games before the All-Star break, and then you show up and you play in the All-Star game like nothing's wrong, and then right after the All-Star break, you re-aggravate that injury, you probably shouldn't have played in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, I will give. I'm actually going to give LeBron James some credit, and this is the credit that I am going to give to him. I was actually, and this is before I knew about all this other stuff. I was happy to see him show up and play in the All-Star game. And I'll tell you why. Because far too many times, especially in recent memory, I see the stars or whatever, and like, I just in just about every sport. I don't really think baseball, but in a lot of sports, especially the NFL or whatever, where players will forego like the Pro Bowl or whatever type of All-Star game to avoid, injury.
Yeah.
And while I understand that, it was actually kind of cool to see, at least this All-Star game, where in the NBA, some of the stars actually, they actually came out and actually played. It was actually a pleasant surprise. Another pleasant surprise to me, believe it or not, was the slam dunk contest. That Debo, if you have not watched that slam dunk contest, you need to.
I did watch some highlights. I didn't watch it like in full, but I did watch some highlights. I knew of the dunker that came in, McClung. I knew of him.
Yes.
Way back. So,
well, I'll put it to you this way, man. This was probably one of the better slam dunk contests that I actually watched in a while. It was, and again, it was a pleasant surprise. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got for the NBA. NFL, I mean, we'll get into that probably a little bit later, but no real big surprise moves. Just really quick, you know what I'm about to bring up, but I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something, because I see people in of a certain fan base losing their minds over a certain player getting cut on a certain team, and that certain team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that certain player is Leonard Fournette. Are you really that surprised?
No, not really.
No, okay.
No, okay. You know where we stand, bro. There's a lot of things that are happening. The announcements that's been made. I know it's pre free agency and all of that stuff. But here's the deal. When it comes to the Bucks, there's things that we've been, talking about with this organization, things that need to happen from a personnel standpoint, front office, whatever the case may be. We've been talking about this for a while, so it doesn't surprise me. And some of these fans, they must think that a lot of things can always improve, even with bad players. So reports are coming out that Donovan Smith, left tackle for the Bucks, is on the verge of being cut.
Okay.
Another guy by the name of Leonard Fournette also asked for his release. Before we move forward, I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give my opinion in the vocal standpoint, because I try to stay out of these groups and I keep it short and sweet, because it takes too much time to be detailed through a post. So I can say what I need to say on the show. Here we are. It is March 1st, 2023. Donovan Smith has been a Tampa Bay Buccaneer since 2000, either 15 or 14. He was here before Jameis was drafted, I think. Or maybe they came in at the same year. It's possible they came in the same year. But anyhow, it is 2023 from 2016. That's 7 years. And we've been complaining about slow-footed sloth Donovan Smith since the day he got here. And I know a lot of people want to say, he's been better under Brady. No, Brady made him better because he got rid of the ball so fast. He was never a top of the line NFL left tackle, but you went out and paid him like one.
Oh, we absolutely did.
And that was the mistake. This is what happens when you win. When you win, players get overpaid, whether they sign in as free agents from that team or you're re-signing your own guys. The price tag goes up just because you're winning. Donovan Smith probably should have been cut 3 years ago. I'm not even going to front. I saw enough of him under Jameis Winston. And when you have a bad left tackle that's got slow feet and struggles with speed rushers, that's not even a debate. And then you got a quarterback that also holds the ball too long to try to make things happen. That's a recipe for disaster. And that is basically what happened to Jameis here. So under Tom Brady, we didn't see the quarterback hold the ball that much or that long like the previous quarterback. So automatically, players that weren't that good, all of a sudden people started saying, "Oh, well, maybe he's been playing great." He hasn't had to hold up his blocks for as long as he would normally have to, if it was a different quarterback back there throwing the ball, that held it a tad bit longer. So this season, what we seen out of Donovan Smith, to me, is business as usual. It's stuff, we've been talking about for years here at the Rat Pack Sports Show. And it just don't go away because you got a better quarterback. You're still that same dude. And this season, he showed us you're still that same dude. He has the most holding penalties in the league since coming into the league as a left tackle. He gets called for hands to the face all the time because he doesn't get low on his blocks. He's a stand straight up. He's a stand straight up offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a problem getting low. His center of gravity is terrible. So he gets abused in that right. And last season, I know, Smith came out and said some things about, he's going through some stuff personally or whatnot. Listen, bro, your job is to block. So I don't care about what you personally going through. Well, if you're gonna play, you gotta perform. Don't play through it and then turn around and say, well, I'm going through some stuff after we just watch you, for the whole season get abused. Now you're going through some stuff and you think that's gonna be an excuse to why you're not gonna you possibly losing your job at the end of the season. Man, you're terrible. You got slow feet. Any speed rush in the league, you cannot do nothing with. We've seen it. You got paid a lot of money, and you'll probably never get paid that kind of money again. You're not an NFL left tackle. And for the people that's saying, move Tristan Wirfs to left tackle. Okay, so now you just caused a problem at the right guard. I mean, at the right tackle, because that is his position. Just fix the left tackle. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, him going through something personally. Okay. I do care if he is going through something personally. I hope that whatever he had going on personally, I hope he got or is getting it figured out.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. This is my statement, and I'm about to confuse you and everybody else for a second. He is bad.
Man, don't say
he
it.
Is good. He is bad, but he is good.
Oh boy. All right, I want to hear this.
Let me explain.
Yeah, you better. You better explain.
Donovan Smith is not a starting left tackle for the NFL. He is not. Donovan Smith to me, is good for about 10 plays a game. He needs to be a rotational player. That is what he needs to be. If he was a rotational player, he would be good in that. He would be a good rotational player to give whoever the starter is a little breather every once in a while. He would be great for that. That is what I mean. He is bad, but he is good. In rotation, he is good. He is just fine. Like I said, he's good. 10 plays a game. Maybe, depending on the team, maybe 15. But Donovan Smith needs to be a rotational offensive lineman, is what he needs to be. So, that is where I stand on that. Because, look, you have to have some amount of talent in order to make it to the NFL. You do. Okay, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So Donovan Smith making it to the NFL, okay, because he does have a certain amount of talent. But the problem is that he needs to find his niche. He needs to find his place. His place is not as a starter. Sorry, Donovan. You seem like a great guy. You seem like a nice guy and all that. Again, whatever you got going on personally, I hope you have gotten it or are getting it figured out. But man, look, bro, you need to be a rotational offensive lineman. Like I said, and you know what? There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I wouldn't even have that dude as a rotational guy.
Well, the reason
you're being
I
nice.
say that,
you're being nice.
Well, I look for a place to put somebody that I see that has a certain amount of talent.
Mm-hmm.
And he does have a certain amount of talent. The thing is that he's not Debo. He's not a starter. He really isn't.
No, he's not.
But like I said, I've seen him do good. I've seen him do great. 10, 15 plays a game. If that's where his bread and butter is, coming in 10 to 15 plays a game, and giving one of the others, or giving a starter a rest, okay, ride with that.
Mm-hmm.
Make your career on that. Nothing wrong with that. You still getting paid. You ain't making as much, but you still getting paid. I mean, here's the other thing, man. Really and honestly, if he's released, why not just call it a career? You got your Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
I mean, you are now. I mean, I don't know how much money is left on his contract, but he's still going to get paid. I mean, hopefully you've had the right people around you, and you're set up pretty good. But why not walk away? Why not call it a career? I mean, if you still want to play, okay, cool. I respect that. But you probably have to understand that unless another team is foolish enough to sign you as a starting left tackle, you're probably not going to be a starter. You're going to be a backup. You're going to be a rotation guy.
Yeah.
And again, to me, that is where his bread and butter is. Now, maybe you say that I'm being too nice. No, I'm not. I'm not being nice. I'm being realistic. And the reality is that he is not a starting left tackle. He isn't. His bread and butter is going to be as a rotational player. Watch. If he continues to play, that is where his bread and butter is going to be. He's going to be a guy that gets rotated in, like I said, 10 to 15 plays a game.
Yeah, I just don't see any coaches when they have the film on this guy. I just don't see the coaches that's gonna even use him in that manner because he's too prone to making mistakes.
Well, and see, and this is why if you have him in 10 to 15 plays a game, unless he just completely screws up and everything like that, then the least likely you are going to see him make a mistake. You limit his playing time. You limit the opportunities he has to make a mistake.
Yeah, and I see your point on that. Also, I just feel like at this stage of his career, man, hey, your time is up. And I think, his time as a NFL starting left tackle is done.
I completely agree. Like I said, unless another team just hasn't watched the film, and they go out and they sign him as a starting left tackle, then I really don't see him being a starter somewhere else. Now, you know what? I could be wrong. We could be wrong. He could go to another team and be a Pro Bowl left tackle. Do I see it happening? No, I don't. Like I said, I'm sure he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a nice guy. But great guy, nice guy, that doesn't equal starting left tackle.
No.
Like I said, I've sat there, I've watched the games. To me, he is good for 10, maybe 15 plays a game. That is what he is good for.
Well, yeah. And again, I don't disagree with you. I just feel like you got more than enough film to see where this guy at, and I just don't think he's going to be good enough for anybody's roster. And that's just my thought. That's just my thoughts on that.
I mean, on anybody's roster as a starter, no. Anybody's roster as a backup, maybe. I can't name you any name or any teams right off the back, but I'm sure that there is a team out there that does need a suitable rotational left tackle guy that can come in and can give that starter a breather or something like that. I don't know, maybe Las Vegas. Like I said, I don't know. Like that's something that the NFL guru, Sean Naylor, would be more equipped to answer than me. But yeah, no, I agree with you, man. As far as what I see, is how best the starting left tackle is done.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
But no, like I said, I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on these releases that we're seeing with Tampa. And I mean, me and you, we're a part of similar groups and everything. And I mean, I know you've seen the same stuff that I have and everything. So I was just kind of curious what your thoughts were, just to make sure I wasn't missing anything, because I don't know. I'm trying to figure. I was trying to figure out why everybody was acting so surprised. We're $55 million over the cap, and 35 million of our salary cap is we are going to eat on a player that is not playing for us, and that's Tom Brady. Like there's no way to get around that. I mean, but I will say I give Jason Light a little bit of credit for just going ahead and eating this $35 million all in one gulp for 1 year, rather than redoing Brady's contract and extending it out longer. I personally, I think that's the right move. I really do. I mean, yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to suck, but it's only for a year. And I mean, let's face it. We got a lot of work to do, team wise and everything like that. So, I mean, I'm not saying that we can't make the playoffs this year, because I mean, let's face it, our division is not that great. But if we didn't make the playoffs, I don't think I would be that surprised. I really don't, because we and the thing is that everybody hates this word, but this is exactly where we are. We're rebuilding, and it's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we won our Super Bowl. We were relevant for a couple of years. Again, I mean, just look back on those memories, as fond memories, and I mean, let's go forward. And I mean, hopefully, hopefully we can rebuild and, maybe actually start rebuilding the right way. I mean, I'm not holding my breath, but, yeah, I mean, guys, am I wrong in anything I just said, Derek?
No, you're not wrong at all.
Okay.
You're not wrong at all.
Okay.
I'm just listening.
I mean, like I said, I mean, Derek, look, us, and I'm just going to say it, us old-timer Buccaneer fans, we used to this. So, I mean, this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing new.
No.
But what I would like to see is I would like to see a similar build to what we had and what I think was probably the best era of Buccaneer football, and that was those mid to late 90s, early 2000s. I would love to see us start building like that again. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but to me, those years were probably some of the best in Buccaneer history.
Yeah.
And, and I would really like to start, I would really like to see us start doing something like that again. And coincidentally enough, one of the one of the guys that was involved in that is actually, as far as I know, he does not have a team, or he is not working for a team because he was fired by the Titans, and that was Anderson. Now, would he take another position with Tampa? I don't know. But you know what? It might be worth a call. Yeah, to bring him in some capacity and everything to to maybe, starting to help with this build. Let's face it. He didn't do a horrible job as a general manager of Tennessee. I understand why they let him go. But I'll be honest with you, I was kind of surprised that they did. But he's out there. Glacier, Jason Light, pick up the phone, give the man a call, see if he's even interested. It doesn't hurt. The worst he can say is no.
No, you make great points, man. All of your points that you made are good points, and I couldn't have said them any better myself, because I was getting ready to head that. But yeah, you make a good point, and at the end of the day, it's still about production. So if you're not producing and doing the things you need to, then the team is always going to be looking, in the other direction.
I have my moments where I actually make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, so where we at? Just dabbling a little bit in the free agency conversation, since we're kind of there anyway. Obviously it starts in 14 days. March, 15th is pretty much the date. What do you what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I can't get the word that I'm looking for.
What do I anticipate?
Yeah. What do you anticipate happening? It don't, beyond the Bucks. It don't even necessarily have to be about the Bucks, but whatever player or team come to your mind, and you've heard of them possibly going over here opposed to over there last second. What do you think?
One thing that I actually think is going to happen, and with these moves that I'm about to throw out there, this is going to kind of shake up the NFL draft, at least in the short term. The one thing that I anticipate is, first and foremost, I don't think Derek Carr is gonna be gone day one. I don't. I think that this is going to be a lot more lengthy than what people are realizing or anticipating. But I do think he is going to. I do think that he is going to wind up going to one of two teams. And in the one team that I have in mind, it's only if they can't pull whatever kind of trade that they need to do to land Aaron Rodgers, and that's the Jets. A lot of people think that I am crazy for saying that, but looking at where the Jets are and looking at their head coach, looking at the moves that he made to bring in that offensive coordinator, I could see Aaron Rodgers starting in with the Jets. I really do. I don't think it was a mistake. I don't think it was unintentional that they chose Nathaniel Hackett. I really don't. I think that was a telling move. But yeah. Now, does that automatically mean Rodgers is going to the Jets? No, it doesn't. But I do think that was a move to make it appealing for him to come over there. But if for some reason they don't, I can see Carr going to the Jets. The other team that I can see Carr going to is the Houston Texans. I think that the Jets would be a little more appealing to him because Houston is very much rebuilding, and I don't know if Carr wants to be a part of that or not. I mean, he is still young and everything, so maybe they can do that. If Carr does go to the Texans, you can automatically assume that they are not going to take a quarterback with their first pick, which completely opens up Bryce Young to being taken by another team. The other guy that I thought that maybe I knew where he was going to wind up at, but now I'm just not really sure, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, Jimmy G, the man is not a bad quarterback. He's been there, he's done that. Any team would be lucky to have him as a starter. I thought that maybe he might go over to the Jets, maybe even a surprise move back to New England. But now I'm just not. I'm not sure. Really, where he may wind up at. A lot of people have been saying Tampa. I wouldn't mind having him, but again, we don't have the cap room, at least in this year to be able to afford something like that. So if him or any of these high-priced quarterbacks decided to come to Tampa, their contract's going to have to be backloaded because it's definitely not going to be able to be front-loaded. We don't have the cap room this year to be able to do anything like that. So they're going to have to understand that they're probably going to be taking a veteran's minimum or something along those lines for this year, and then they're going to get that paycheck next year or the year after that. And if they're cool with that, yeah. I mean, Jimmy G, Derek Carr, Jackson, okay. But I don't think Tampa is going to pursue any quarterbacks. I think this is the time to see what Kyle Trask has. And I'm not saying you give it a year with Trask, and then if he's just not it, you cut the cord. No, you have to at least give him a chance. To actually do this and everything. And I'm sorry, 1 year. I mean, unless he is just completely, utterly horrible, no, you got to give the guy at least 2 years. But no, I like as far as what I anticipate, the like I said, a couple of these quarterbacks may be off the board day one. Other than that, I think that they're going to be real lengthy. I believe you're going to see a lot of offensive linemen and defensive linemen signing pretty quickly and everything. There is going to be there's going to be some movement that I think is going to surprise a lot of people. And there's one move that I don't know if they're going to make it or not, but if they did, just based on what I'm hearing from up here, I really wouldn't be surprised if they did. And that's the Minnesota Vikings moving on from Kirk Cousins.
Yep. Hey, William, real quick.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to run, grab me a drink of water real quick. Just
all right.
Keep going, and I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Well, listeners, Derek is away getting his H2O and his rehydration. I'll just go ahead and continue on with a couple of other things as far as NFL free agency that I'm looking at. I have mentioned this in the past, and Derek and a couple of other people they kind of raised their eyebrow when I've said this, but Carson Wentz, I really honestly think that he should actually go to a certain team as a backup and everything, because I think that he would do really well there and everything, and really and honestly, I think he would be a good backup for their starter, and that's to Jacksonville. Doug Peterson is there. Carson Wentz, to the best of my knowledge, had his best years with Doug Peterson, and I think that given this spiral down that he has been on since his injury and everything, I think that might be the opportune place for him. Just me thinking out loud. As far as I know that Jacksonville has a backup. Couldn't tell you who it is, but when you have a player that is out there that has been a starter, up until his injury was a really good starter and everything. If you have the ability to bring somebody like that in, I really do think that you do bring that. I think you bring somebody like that in. The other name that I have heard being thrown around, I don't know how serious it is. It could be a cap-saving move, but if they do release him, we're going to be jumping back to the Minnesota Vikings, and that's Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is a good running back. To me, he would fit on any team. I don't think he goes to a team that is rebuilding or still has a ways to go. I think he goes to a contender. I think he makes an immediate impact. But with that being said, when you are going to a contender and everything, a lot of times you're making the choice to chase the ring and not the paycheck. Dalvin Cook has gotten paid. I think he does want to see. I do think he wants a to. I think he will chase a ring if he is released. And again, it's not as far-fetched as what some people may think, but if he is released, I do see him going to a place like Cincinnati. Yes, I know that they have running backs there, but I don't think that it would be a bad signing if a team like Cincinnati pulled him in. Another place that he may fit in very well at and everything would be Buffalo. Buffalo, again, yes, I know that they have backs, but a caliber of back like Dalvin Cook, it's kind of hard to look the other way. You can automatically assume all 32 NFL teams are at least going to look in his direction, and at the most, just kind of kick the tires and everything. I do not think Minnesota outright releases him. I do think that they will attempt to trade him. And all that, because I do think that that they will want to try to get some sort of compensation for him. But again, there's no definitive thing saying that Minnesota is going to get rid of him. It's just something that has been tossed around by some people and everything like that. Like I said, do I know, or do I even think that they are going to release Cook? No, I don't. But if they did, I would not be surprised. The other things that I really see as far as the NFL free agency goes is I I think we are going to see a few more trades than usual as far as that goes. Because again, I think a lot of people are going to. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at some of the moves that are made, because I have a feeling that there are players that are going to be moved that we're not even really thinking about, and all that, because there are some teams that I do think that they're pretty much just going to press the reset button and start over. One of those teams in everything, I believe, is the Indianapolis Colts. I think that they do have a few pieces in place, but I think all in all, I think that the Colts are going to enter into a sort of rebuild phase. The Chicago Bears, everybody's seen it and all that. Justin Fields getting moved definitely is not going to surprise me if the Bears don't already have a little nudge, wink, wink deal in place for the start of the league year to move Justin Fields. Justin Fields, again, is in that long line of Ohio State quarterbacks that are coming to the NFL, and they're expecting them to be great, and they're just not. They're not what everybody is hoping them to be. I'm not saying he is a horrible quarterback, but I think he was overhyped. Now, where is he going to land? I have no idea. I do think that the Raiders will be one team that is maybe looking in his direction. But with that being said, I don't know if Josh McDaniels wants to exactly pitch his card, so to say, to a quarterback like Justin Fields. I believe that he's probably going to wind up drafting a quarterback, if not this year, next year. But Justin Fields going to move. It's not going to surprise me at all if that is something that is done like day one, because I don't think the Bears are going to outright release him. I think that they want to try to at least get something for him, but it's definitely not going to be a first-round pick. I don't even think it's going to be a second-round pick, to be honest with you. You might see a team willing to take a flyer for a third-round pick, but the Bears, they mismanaged that entire situation. That's on the front office, and that's on the head coach at the time. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know if it's the same head coach, but they fell for the bright, starry-eyed Ohio State quarterback. And again, I'm not saying he's horrible, because he's not, but Justin Fields was really overhyped coming out. And I said it when they drafted him that this was going to be a mistake. They shouldn't have drafted him that high. He at best should have been a late first round, early second round pick. And the play speaks for itself.
Yeah, and you made a few. I was just listening here, but you made a few points talking about the quarterback position for a few teams here.